1993-94 was an historic season for Millwall Football Club. After 83 years at Coldblow Lane, the Lions began a new era in a new den at Senegal Fields. At a cost of £15 million, Millwall had built the London Stadium, a magnificent venue for the club's new dreams. It was a perfect stage for a bold promotion bid by Mick McCarthy's Hungry Lions, a bid that was destined to take Millwall all the way to the promotion playoffs.
Good positioning by Cunningham, and a good cross coming in towards Mitchell!
The promotion campaign was preceded by a busy summer on the transfer market. Out went 4 members of the first team squad, and in came 3 players on free transfers. The biggest loss was star defender Colin Cooper, sold to Nottingham Forest for £1.75 million. The season was a month old before Pat Vanden Hauwe was signed to fill the gap. Malcolm Allen played in the pre-season matches, only to be signed 48 hours before the season began for £300,000 by Newcastle United. American marksman Bruce Murray was a match winner on his opening day debut. And 2 months into the season, former Swindon striker Dave Mitchell made a big impact when he was brought back to England after a brief spell with Turkish club Izmir. Old favourite Terry Hurlock made a return to Millwall colours in the second half of the season. And there were 2 further signings on transfer deadline day when veteran marksman Clive Allen arrived from West Ham and Greg Berry was signed from Wimbledon. The story of Millwall's season began with their move to the new den, and the month of August kicked off with a couple of historic friendlies. Sporting Lisbon, managed by former England boss Bobby Robson, were Millwall's first opponents at their new stadium. The evening kicked off with the official opening ceremony conducted by Labour leader John Smith, who sadly died before the season was over. The match itself ended in a 2-1 defeat, but fittingly the first goal at the new den was scored by a Millwall player.
And there's Roberts, and the first goal has been scored by John Kerr. The American has the honour of making history with the first goal ever at the new den.
The housewarming party continued against Hungarian champions Honved, but a second defeat for the Lions suggested it was going to take time to settle. John Kerr was again the Millwall scorer, but Honved ended up the winners by 2-1. Injuries meant the absence of key men Andy May, Alex Ray, John Goodman and Jamie Morley from the opening match at the Victoria Ground. Nonetheless, the Lions kicked off the new campaign in the best way possible.
Ian Bogey's away on the right, he's got Murray in the middle, he doesn't need him, he scored! It's Stoke City 0, Millwall 1! Keller then with the goal kick. Long downfield, Andy Roberts will challenge for that one in the air, but the ball breaks to Harvey for Stoke. Long ball downfield, a harmless one, and this should be played back easily by Tony McCarthy, but Keller's off his line! Oh, it's a dreadful error by Tony McCarthy, and it's the equaliser for Stoke City. Gavin Maguire now battling in midfield, plays it out to the right. Ian Bogey now, he's got 2 in the middle to aim for. Finds John Kerr on the far post then. Kerr returns it to the middle. Murray, Bruce Murray, he scored! Stoke 1, Millwall 2!
The new-look Lions were off the mark with 3 useful away points. American Bruce Murray had crowned his debut with a match-winning goal, and the stage was all set for Millwall's first league match at the new den.
Goes Brett Angel. Dawes gets it away. Washington, but it's Bogey again. Finds Kerr. Now has Kerr got the pace? Has he got the finish? He has! Brett Angel, Jason Lee, Andy Sussex up from the back. Plenty of big boys in there. And it's in there! And Jason Lee has made it 1-1. Swift challenge there by Ian Dawes, but still Southend come away with it without a block. Oh, and that'll come for Jason Lee. Now can Ricky Otto get on the end of that? He can, and Southend are ahead. Bogey. Now Kerr. Oh, he's found himself a yard here, and an excellent piece of goalkeeping by Sanson as well.
very good, wasn't it? I mean, he did it all himself, did the trick, and that was a great shot. A good save from old Sammy.
Oh, and it's in there. And it's Mooney. Whether he got the last touch or not, but Tommy Mooney is doing the celebrating. And Southend have gone 3-1 up. Rain. And now Otto. Who answers goal? 4-1. Well, they can't believe it.
The setback against Southend was followed by another defeat against Wolves at Molineux. The Lions had a mountain decline when Gavin Maguire was sent off for violent conduct with just 7 minutes gone. And Wolves made Millwall pay when David Kelly set up Steve Bull, and the former England striker sent the home side on their way to a 2-0 win. 10-man Millwall has shown plenty of spirit, but not enough to avoid their second defeat in 3 days. Matters didn't improve at Filbert Street against a Leicester City side that was soon destined to join the early pace-setters. The Lions were simply outgunned by the home side. A brilliant strike by Julian Joachim was the pick of the City collection. Millwall, clearly missing the departed Colin Cooper at the back, were finally beaten by 4 clear goals. The sequence of 3 straight defeats meant Millwall ended August bottom of the First Division. A disappointing start to the season, but it meant the only way forward from here was up. Fortunes did improve in September, although the month ended with 5 frustrating matches without a Millwall goal. But there was no shortage of goals or drama in the Anglo-Italian Cup encounter with rivals Charlton. Ian Dawes set up Andy Roberts for the night's opening goal. Etienne Verveer was starting his first match after 16 months out with damaged cruciate knee ligaments, and he made it 2-0 before half-time. But Millwall were still denied their first win at the New Den. Carl Leeburn and Kim Grant replied for Charlton to make the final score 2-2. The next chance to get off the mark came against Mick McCarthy's former club Barnsley. The Lions badly needed a win.
Just touches it for Huxford. Played a little late, but they've got it into the danger zone. Huxford again. Didn't quite get over it. Little unlucky there. The ball kicking up very high. This is Verveer. Oh, beautiful skill from Verveer. It must be. It's there. John Kerr, the scorer. But you've got to put that one down to the sheer brilliance of Etienne Verveer. He spotted the situation and just flicked the ball over the top of the back line. And there was John Kerr racing on. Huxford. Ray getting stuck in, the shot, oh, he's found the net! 2-0, and that surely has wrapped it up for Millwall. A shot from some 25 yards. A good game. It took until the 80th minute, though, for you to really seal it.
That's true. I mean, they always had a chance to come back into the game. I mean, we more or less dominated the game for, 60, 70 minutes. And they had the odd chance to hit the bar once, and Casey made a tremendous save to keep us in it. But once we got the second goal, we knew we were going to win.
After 3 successive league defeats, the first home win was a huge relief. With one sequence broken, another one was about to begin. The match at the Valley was the beginning of a marathon 5-match goal drought. John Kerr came closest to breaking the stalemate for Millwall. The Lions striker had all the best chances, his closest effort denied by the woodwork. Pat van den Houw marked his debut with a booking, but 2 players were sent off, Alex Ray and Peter Garland, following a midfield skirmish that ended with an angry exchange. In the end, it needed a fine goalkeeping display by Casey Keller to hold on to a point, in a contest that eventually ended goalless. 3 days later, another blank for Millwall ended in defeat after rookie goalkeeper Carl Emberson conceded an early goal in the Anglo-Italian Cup. When Casey Keller's deputy failed to hold a shot from Georgian Dar, Palace were given the lead by Paul Williams. Emberson's night to forget came to a premature end when 16 minutes later, a foul on Chris Armstrong earned a red card. Lee Luscombe took over in the Millwall goal, but Armstrong duly converted from the spot. The Lions were on the way to a 3-0 defeat and an early exit from the Anglo-Italian Cup. 2 games without a Millwall goal became 3 against Derby County, and the multi-million-pound side from the baseball ground couldn't score either. Sadly, the game's talking point was a red card for Millwall skipper Keith Stevens. His confrontation with Paul Kitson, his second bookable offence. By the time Millwall arrived at Watford in the second round of the Coca-Cola Cup, it was getting hard to remember the last time the Lions scored a goal. The problem was the goal drought was set to continue. Another goalless draw was the order of the day. Results were now getting consistent, if nothing else. 4 matches without a Millwall goal, and 3 of those ending 0-0. It was all getting rather predictable. Nonetheless, there was no shortage of effort for Mick McCarthy's men. At Peterborough, they made enough chances to score a hatful, but yet another goalless draw proved just how hard bad habits are to break. Despite the lack of goals, the Lions had started to edge away from the bottom of the table. 9 points from the opening 8 matches, and Millwall were now in 17th position. Clearly, there was still plenty of room for improvement. After 7.5 hours of football without a single goal, Millwall ended their drought in style in October. The Lions began the month with a superb run of 3 successive victories, starting with a 2-part drama against Watford.
Barber with a header. Comes to Morley with a chance. Good save by Shepherd. Roberts tries to hook it back. There's Goodman. John Goodman makes it 1-0 to Millwall. John Goodman in his first full game of the season gives the Lions the lead. There's Barber with the header. Ball breaks nicely, sits up for Morley. Good save by Simon Shepherd, but he can only parry it to Roberts. Roberts only gets half of it, but John Goodman is on hand. Keller. Long ball downfield. Oh, that's a mistake by Dublin. There's Goodman for his second. John Goodman makes it 2 for Millwall. Millwall 2, Watford 0. It's Keller with the long ball downfield. Now this is a real hash of it there by Keith Dublin, and it takes no second bidding for John Goodman to lash the ball in left-footed. Shepherd then clears long downfield as Watford striving to get back into this game, but it's Millwall in possession once more. Goodman with the touch. Here's Verveer, making great strides towards the goal. Verveer, can he go all the way? No, it's a penalty, is it? Referee is consulting with his linesman, is he? It's a free kick just outside the box. That one was close. Let's look at it again. Verveer, look at the pace he's got there. 3 defenders around him, but none of them can get near him. Tackle comes in, and oh, that was close to being a penalty. Free kick then to Millwall, right on the edge of the box. Phil Barber is over it. Andy Roberts is there too. Barber with a shot into the wall. Roberts! Andy Roberts with his first goal of the season makes it Millwall 3, Watford 0. Superb strike from Andy Roberts. Here's the free kick from Barber, comes back out of the wall, and Roberts, right-footed from the edge of the box, makes it 3-0 to the Lions. Mark Beard then will take the throw. Finds Richard Huxford. Huxford turns well. Huxford through ball, finds John Goodman in space now. Goodman with a chance for his hat-trick, and he's scored it. John Goodman, returning to the side after injury, has scored his hat-trick. It's Millwall 4, Watford 0. Here's Huxford, and what a lovely ball that is. Goodman invited to get onto it, round Simon Shepherd, and there it is, side-footed into the empty net. Shepherd then will clear long downfield. Watford surely now with just 9 minutes remaining can only be looking for a consolation. And here's Lee Nogan perhaps with a chance to get one for them, and he has. Lee Nogan scores for Watford. It's Millwall 4, Watford 1.
And Watford making a sprightly start, as indeed they did here on Saturday, before succumbing to Goodman's hat-trick. Good cross in there. Oh, and hesitation on part of Keller. Chance here, and it's 1-0. Keller hesitated. The Watford attack didn't. Oh, and Hessenhaler in there so quickly. A chance here to make it 2-0, and he has. Lee Nogan, the scorer. The sign of victory from Nogan. 20 minutes into this game. Furlong. Good tackle by Cunningham. Oh, and an angry reaction there. And Furlong could be facing a red card here. This one for Phil Dunn to sort out. We'll see it again. Furlong here. Gets to the ball first, but Cunningham comes in and makes the challenge. And then look at this reaction. Blatant kick, and that surely is a red card. And he's booking Kenny Cunningham. The red card for Furlong. Morley. Stevens. Good ball into space. There's three of them there. They must score here, surely. Oh! Huxford again. Huxford tries the shot. It's gone in somehow. Well, that was the weakest of shots, but it found the net, and that's all that Millwall care about. And Millwall are back in business. We'll see it again. Huxford getting this shot in. Barber couldn't get his boot to the ball. Well defended there. Huxford turns inside and hits it with the left foot. And Millwall, oh, it was Dublin who missed it. Millwall have scored. It's Millwall 1, Watford 2. Watford getting off to such a storming start with a goal inside 2 minutes. And leading at the moment by 2-1. Dalby. Dalby rode that challenge brilliantly. He's taken 2 men out there. Dalby, good play by Dalby. Rolled across. Murray's there. He must score. He has scored. Bruce Murray makes it Millwall 2, Watford 2. We're right on the stroke of half-time. What a good run that was by Dalby. The ball played across by Huxford, and Murray squeezed it past Shepherd. And Millwall have drawn level. They've overturned a 2-0 deficit. It's Millwall 2, Watford 2. Stevens. Huxford. That's a great ball from Huxford. Murray going through. Can he ride the challenges? He went in there on goalkeeper Simon Shepherd, and really this is a little silly, and Murray has to keep his cool. No point in him being sent off too. He went in there, a legitimate challenge on the goalkeeper, as far as I could see. A beautiful ball played through by Huxford, and the two centre-backs converging on young Murray went all the way through. The keeper had the ball first, and then, well, look at that. And off goes David Holdsworth, the Watford skipper. He definitely got hold of Murray round the neck, and that was really inexcusable. Cunningham doing well. Stevens. Oh, there could be an own goal. The keeper didn't hold it. He's blocked it again. It's in. Oh my word! What a sensation! And Watford pinch it. And that, a sensational goal from Hessenhaler. We'll see it again here. Keller to Stevens, and the most experienced man in the Millwall side. What a terrible back pass that was. Keller gets to it, keeps it out with one hand. Hessenhaler follows up. And there it is, squeezes it past a prostrate Casey Keller. Barber. Well, he should have picked Kennedy out there. Dublin getting his head to that one. This is Morley, a chance. Oh, what a goal from Jamie Morley. 3-3 the score. There's 11 minutes left for play. Dublin got his head to it. It dropped down to Morley. And there's the blistering finish from Jamie Morley. His first goal of the season. Down to under a minute now. Cunningham, he's got to get the ball in there early. That's not a bad one. Flicked on, a chance here for Verveer. It's there! The celebrations are there. Flicked on, ball played in quickly to Verveer. Just got his toe to it and turned it past Simon Shepherd. And Millwall lead 4-3 on the night. And Phil Barber with the corner kick. Dolby making the run in. This is Ray. Good play by Ray. The header back by Dolby. Oh, it's there! Beautiful ball back by Alex Ray. And Goodman, the scorer. We'll see it again on the replay here. Beautifully chipped to the far post. The header back, and in steals Goodman. 1-0. Put out by Taylor. Chance here for Alex Ray, and that's a penalty! Little doubt about that one either. Alex Ray pushed the ball past his man. And Bob Taylor brings him down. Here it is. Alex Ray looks up. He decides to go on the outside. And there we are. Bolt by Taylor. A penalty for Millwall. The referee not happy with Lang. He's not on the goal line. He was standing in front of it. Makes it all more anxious for the taker. But Alex Ray celebrates. He sent Lang the wrong way. And Millwall lead West Bromwich Albion by 2-0. Corner then for Albion. Keller's got his hat on now and didn't quite make that one. Hunt with a shot. Oh, and Keller didn't know much about that. It's still in play. A chance here for Bradley, and he scored.
Nonetheless, Millwall were on a roll. 3 wins in a week and 10 goals to boot. The Lions have moved into the top 8. Despite a spectacular end to the goal drought, manager Mick McCarthy decided to splash out on a new transfer. Former Swindon Town marksman David Mitchell was the man, a £140,000 buy from Izmir in Turkey. The 31-year-old Australian international, a player with experience at the top level. Mitchell started on the subs bench on his debut at Bolton Wanderers, and it was Millwall old boy John McGinley, the £100,000 reject, who grabbed the limelight. McGinley made his mark with a first-half double that sent the Lions crashing to a 4-0 defeat. A comprehensive end to Millwall's 6-match unbeaten run. The chance to make amends came 4 days later against Notts County.
Verveer moving up towards the 6-yard line. David Mitchell poised there to make the run in. Mitchell gets his head to it. Oh, off the crossbar! Nearly a gallant opening for him on his home debut. Oh, that's a good ball from Alex Ray. Goodman going. Penalty given. The challenge by Wilson, was it? No, it was by Paul Cox. Cox disgusted with that decision. But John Goodman was trying to take him on the outside. The foot went in. Down went Goodman. And immediately the referee pointed to the spot. Oh, and it's 1-0. Superb. Superbly placed by Alex Ray. That's his 3rd goal of the season. Cunningham with space on this side of the field. Oh, the header from Verveer! 2-0. Superb finish there. What a beautiful cross it was too from Kenny Cunningham. But he's taking the applause there, and quite rightly so. Etienne Verveer, his third goal of the season, but his first in the league, and it came from that superb cross from Kenny Cunningham. And just watch this, Verveer launches himself, and 2-0 it is to Millwall. Mitchell getting stuck in there. This is Ray. He's got another chance. And the first attempted shot coming in there. Mitchell's in. Oh, good goalkeeping by Cherry. Alex Ray. Oh, it's off the bar. Off the bar again. Mitchell with a shot and cleared on the line. And it's all happening in Steve Cherry's goal mouth.
3 precious points lifted Millwall into the promotion zone. Mick McCarthy's men were in the top 6 thanks to a victory confirmed by Etienne Verveer's diving header. The chance to consolidate that position came against high-flying Middlesbrough.
Well, that looked like a bit of a handball from Ray, but it's been allowed to continue. And there's a chance here in the first, and unlucky. And it's Kennedy who's rattled the upright as well. It would have been a marvellous moment for him. Mick McCarthy was saying he could make himself a TV star today. Moen and White both go up for corners. Morris is arriving now as well, and it's a firm header from Wilkinson. Flying save from Keller. What a magnificent, superb reflex save that is from the American Keller. Still no goals, but chances at either end. Ooh, what a giveaway! Wilkinson's up through the middle, and he can really punish them. The save again by Keller to deny Wilkinson. But what were Millwall thinking of there? That was a dreadful mistake, and they were lucky not to perish. Even looks to take advantage now. Another ball in, and a stooping clearance from Stevens. He lost his footing actually, so he was a little lucky. And now it breaks for Hignett. And Middlesbrough trying to profit from these breaks. He's done it again. Fabulous stuff from Casey Keller. Wilkinson seemed a certain scorer. He was 3 yards out, and Keller had to make his third fantastic stop already in this game. Chipped instinctively out to Barber. 3 men up around the edge of the area, floated in towards Kennedy. The chance must be here for Ray. He's there, and it's Kennedy. Alex Ray poked it into the middle, but I'm sure Kennedy got the final touch. It's going to be a great moment. Let's just have a look at this one again. Millwall have the lead. That's the important thing here. It came over at the far side of the penalty area. Liebert had got up for it. Ray, and then Kennedy. There was also a Middlesbrough foot in there, but it's Millwall who take the lead. This one's taken more promptly. Hignett. Millwall just caught sleeping for a moment. Hignett can get a good ball in for Borough here, and Hendry to no goal. Could well go down as the second own goal of the match. It was John Hendry who got the shot in on goal, but the ball flew into Millwall's net off Phil Barber. You've only got to get it wrong by the smallest margin, haven't you? And you can perish. Here's Moore, and he's done brilliantly off the bar. So here's the corner for Millwall. Can they snatch a winning goal now? Mitchell comes for it. Here's a chance for Stevens. Flipped over the top by Stephen Pears.
What a goal that would have been, John.
Well, Tilly Keith Stevens hasn't got a goal since March against West Ham. He's not far off here, is he? Hits it well. Good stop.
Round 3 of the Coca-Cola Cup dealt Millwall a tough test at Loftus Road. In-form Queen's Park Rangers were riding high after a 5-1 thrashing of Coventry that ended with the resignation of Bobby Gould. Millwall too were well beaten. Les Ferdinand wrapped up a 3-0 win for Rangers early in the second half. 4 days later came another disappointing result in the Sunday showdown with Birmingham City. The match winner was Carl Schutt, who celebrated his Birmingham debut just before half-time.
The linesman didn't spot an obvious offside there in the Birmingham half. Keller under pressure. And Birmingham going in very committed fashion. Here's Donovan with a great chance. And pulls it back. And there's the easiest tap-in goal Carl Schutt will ever score. 1-0 to Birmingham.
In the race to win promotion, Millwall had lost both their away matches in the month of October. But 3 wins at the New Den meant the Lions were now in 10th place, well in touch with the leading pack. The month of November kicked off with the sale of John Byrne to Oxford United. At the age of 32, the former Republic of Ireland striker signed by Mick McCarthy from Sunderland was now surplus to requirements. The midweek date at the City Ground took Millwall into battle with their old teammate Colin Cooper, now part of a new-look Forest lineup reshaped by new boss Frank Clark at a cost of £5.6 million. But it was the Lions who produced a priceless display.
Ball comes across, headed away by Des Little. But good work there from Mark Beard. Swings the ball to the far post. Up comes Dolby with a header. Good save, but a chance for Goodman. And John Goodman has given Millwall the lead. Close range header. Good header, though, on the far post, firstly from Tony Dolby. Parried by the keeper, and there was Goodman on hand to give the Lions the lead. Here's the cross coming in from young Mark Beard up from the back. Dolby with a superb header, well saved by the keeper, but there's Goodman to make it 1-0 to Millwall. Now Phillips with a run here for Nottingham Forest. Gets a cross in, but that'll come to nothing, and Casey Keller will pick it up, and now a chance perhaps for Millwall to counter-attack. Richard Huxford on the right-hand side. He's got Goodman making a run downfield if he can find him, and he has done. There is Goodman coming into the picture now. Goodman, yes, he's lost his marker. Murray's in the centre then. Murray with a header. Yes! Millwall have scored again. It's Forest 0, Millwall 2, and Bruce Murray, the American, the man who gets the second goal. Here's Goodman there, gets away from Colin Cooper. He's got Murray losing his marker, finds space in the centre, and it's the easiest of jobs for the American striker. Free kick then to Millwall. Phil Barber will probably swing this one left-footed, which he does, and there's Keith Stevens. Well, there's a collector's item. Keith Stevens, a left-footed volley on the far post, completely lost his marker, and it's Forest 0, Millwall 3. Here's the free kick then from Phil Barber. Des Little completely loses sight of Keith Stevens, and the skipper scores his goal. Corner taken then to Kingsley Black, swings it into the box. The heads go up, ball bobbling about, but it's not cleared by Roberts. Chance for Forest, and there's Lee Glover. 15 minutes remaining.
Millwall had made big spending Forest look like paupers with a spectacular end to their run of 9 away games without a goal. Not surprisingly, expectations were high in the next match against rock-bottom Oxford.
And the Millwall going in force there. It was Murray who actually made contact with the ball. This is Goodman. Turns it nicely into the space on this left-hand side. Dolby now. Cunningham making the run. Beautiful ball inside, a chance here for Kennedy, shoots a goal! Beautifully taken, Mark Kennedy, the 17-year-old Dubliner, gets his first ever league goal in only his 5th league appearance. Well worth watching again. It was beautifully built up on the left-hand side, a great early ball from Tony Dolby, and there's Kennedy, picks his spot, drills it low with a left foot, and Millwall lead Oxford United by 1-0. Goodman got the touch. Kept his eye on the ball that time. Oh, and Stevens and Beard. Great save from Keller. Stevens and Beard collided, and that gave Chris Allen the opportunity. Good looking attack building up here. Cusack, beautiful play by here. Chance here for Byrne. Must be 1-1. The scorer, Joey Beaucamp. Chance here for Kennedy. He scored. It got a deflection, but it went in the net, and that's all that matters. Mark Kennedy, the number 9, drills it in. Here it is again. The cross coming in from Dolby. Goodman couldn't reach it. It bounces rather high for Kennedy, but he keeps his cool and drills it in. And there we are. It's in the back of the net. Kennedy seemed to have held his line well there, but the free kick given, and Mike Ford bursting through the middle. Spotted by Beard. That was a good interception by Beard. But out to Allen it comes. Good early cross from Allen. And the header from Byrne. Oh, it's there, is it? Yes! Cusack the scorer. Byrne set it up. The cross coming in from Chris Allen. And it's Millwall 2, Oxford United 2.
Oxford's refusal to surrender denied Millwall 2 valuable points. Next came an away day against Bristol City at a waterlogged Ashton Gate. The home side were aiming for their 4th successive win, and for most of the afternoon they looked like getting it. Wayne Ellison opened the scoring and then made it 2-0 with just over half an hour remaining. But then came a gallant fight back, which began when Millwall won a corner. Alex Ray punished slack marking to reduce the deficit to 2-1. Then came an equaliser from Mark Beard, his first league goal extending the Lions' unbeaten run to 3 matches. That made the final score Bristol City 2, Millwall 2. A good day for the travelling fans. A brilliant run of 5 straight wins followed to send the Lions roaring into the promotion pack. Dave Mitchell got the show on the road against second-place Tranmere Rovers.
Yes, superb goal from Dave Mitchell. Lovely cross from Phil Barber, and Mitchell was there to do the rest. Alex Ray with a little backheel there. Barber clips it in left-footed first time. Little header there, defensive header, but Mitchell's on hand, controls it on his chest and rifles it home. Stevens then will return it to Casey Keller. Long clearance downfield by the Millwall keeper. Up goes Mitchell. Alex Ray now is onto it in a flash. Ray's put it inside. Chance here for John Goodman. Goodman comes inside. Has he lost it? No, he hasn't. Side-footed it in. John Goodman, superb strike. Millwall 2, Tranmere 0. Here's Alex Ray, good control there, knocks it inside, and Goodman really has got a good chance here. Seems to make a mistake, gives Higgins a chance to get something on it, but doesn't do so, and side puts it home. Eric Nixon clears long downfield, and Andy Roberts returns it, and now Nixon will get it back from Higgins and clear long this time, surely. Oh, it's a bad one, though, straight to Mark Kennedy. Kennedy with a chance. Good save by Nixon, but Kennedy's up again, and he scored! Mark Kennedy, the 17-year-old, has made it Millwall 3, Tranmere 0. It's a woeful clearance by Nixon, and Kennedy's onto it in a flash. Nixon seems to make amends here, but Kennedy is up, and he's scored. Now Morrissey for Tranmere. Cross into the middle. There's Jones with a header. Oh, it's crept inside the post.
Despite Tranmere's late consolation, this was a real treat for Millwall fans. The Lions' best performance so far at the new Den. Confidence was growing, and the unbeaten run continued against Grimsby Town.
A goal-worthy opportunity yet. Could be here, though. Tony Dawes is in on goal. Gets the shot in. Great save by Keller. Goodman. Oh, chance here for Dawes. Dawes shoots. Another great save by Casey Keller. Kennedy. Barber. Chance for Mitchell. Is there? 1-0. Oh, superb build-up. A textbook finish, a textbook cross, and Millwall lead Grimsby Town 1-0. Your 6th clean sheet of this season?
Yes, unfortunately we've been, games like this we've been scoring about 2 goals, then we're slipping up a goal right at the end of the game, so it was really nice to get that 1-0 win, which everyone knows is a key to success, is to get that 1 goal and then to not let them score. Look at Charlton, they've been doing it all season, and it's great. Now we're back on the clean sheet and we can go from there.
Getting a bit of a run going now, aren't you?
Exactly. You know, we had a little spell at the beginning of the season, and we kind of slipped up once twice, got a couple draws where I think we should have gotten victories, and now we're starting to get the wins. And as we know in this league, 3 points to 1 point for the draw, you got to get the wins.
A proud 5-match unbeaten run now boasted 3 wins, and Millwall were back in the top 6. 5 points behind leaders Charlton Athletic. The climb up the table, and the winning run continued in December, despite an off-the-field incident that put Pat van den Houw out of action. Van den Houw was injured tackling a burglar, and the first match he missed was at the Manor Ground, where Darren Jackson handed Millwall the lead with an own goal 18 seconds into the second half. The Lions deservedly wrapped up their first win at Oxford in 14 years in the final minute. Etienne Verveer's late strike making it 2-0. The Lions' promotion bandwagon was beginning to gather speed. They were now level on points with third-place Palace, and confidence away from home was growing all the time.
Agana nicely waded past that one. It was well won by Gary Lund, because Roberts got across there very quickly indeed. Lund going through. He's got support from Turner. Plays it wide to Devlin though. Good cross from Devlin. It must be. Great save. Brilliant save that by Casey Keller. It was teed up there. It looked a certain goal as Agana raced through, but the shot was brilliantly blocked by Keller. A free kick for Notts County, be taken by Kevin Wilson. Lund's header is there! 1-0. Brilliantly turned in by Gary Lund. Nicely fighted. Cherry got a punch to it. Good shot, brilliant. Alex Ray, what a superb finish from Ray. He kept his body weight over the ball and drilled it towards that right-hand corner, and it went in like a rocket. Notts County 1, Millwall 1. Roberts. Oxford playing it down the line. He switched from left back to right back following the substitution of Mark Beard. Oh, it's there! What a goal! Alex Ray again. His sixth of the season. His second on the afternoon. And Millwall have come from behind to steal the lead. The defence, well, they were found wanting then. And little Alex Ray had to lunge to get his boot on the end of the ball, but he was there. Headed out by Lund. Back in again from Dolby. Roberts. Alex Ray's on a hat-trick. Oh, he scored it! Alex Ray! What a shot that was with the left foot. They gave him too much room. He went one way, went the other, and that surely has clinched it for Millwall.
Super Scot Alex Ray's second-half hat-trick was a real gem. The Millwall's fourth straight win meant to move up to fourth place, 4 points behind leaders Tranmere. The final match before Christmas was a Sunday showdown with newly promoted Stoke City, a side making a strong promotion challenge under new boss Joe Jordan.
This is Barber, clips it across, a chance here, it's there, great save! Absolutely brilliant save by Marshall. He didn't feel Regis coming alongside him there. Lee Sanford playing another great ball through the middle, a chance here for Stoke City to take the lead. Oh, he hit a post! Unbelievable! Phil Barber, not a bad little ball that. Alex Ray, oh, that's a great ball. Goodman, what a save! Roberts sending in the up and under. It's beaten the keeper. It must be. Oh, what a mistake! That surely is the winner. Alex Ray, his 8th goal of the season. 4 goals in 2 goals for the little man in this his 119th league appearance. Dolby now. Nicely played there by Kennedy. Oh, and it's a chance here for Kennedy. He's gone round the keeper, he must score! 2-0! Millwall have sewn it up. The scoreline convincing. 2 bad mistakes by the Stoke City defence. and they pay the price.
The Lions had left it late. Nonetheless, they'd made it 5 wins in a row, claiming a place in the top 3. On Christmas Monday came another encounter with a side battling to stay in the promotion chase. Jim Smith's Portsmouth were the bank holiday guests, but this time the goals dried up.
He's got Durnin on the right, he could goal away on his own. He's going left-footed. Oh, magnificent recovery from Keller. It looked like he'd let the ball slip, and it looked for a moment like Durnin was going to come in and tuck it away. It's a brilliant run by Walsh. Early touch from Mark Beard. Forward, it was a good header. Barber. Good save by Knight. McLaughlin, and Daniel's got some room on the left here. He's round Ray. It's dangerous. Durnin. Brilliant save. Keller made a great save, and Durnin poised at the far post. Hit it clean on the volley, but there was that man again, Casey Keller. Here came the cross from Daniel. Durnin in exactly the right position. Hit it beautifully cleanly, but straight at Keller.
A goalless draw meant the end of Millwall's stunning sequence of 5 wins in a row. 24 hours later, a win at Roker Park would have given the Lions a share of top spot, but it wasn't to be. Sunderland struck the first blow when they took a 10th-minute lead with a goal by Phil Gray. Andy Roberts got the Lions back on level terms with an equaliser just before half-time. Roberts' 3rd goal of the season, and a well-struck one it was. But Sunderland had the final say when Russell landed the winner early in the second half. A goal that inflicted Millwall's first defeat in 10 matches. A frustrating end to 1993. Nonetheless, the Lions had seen out the year in the top 3. 3 months after hitting rock bottom, Mick McCarthy's men had reached the season's halfway mark, perfectly placed to press their promotion challenge. There was every reason to be optimistic about success in 1994, and the Lions didn't waste any time confirming their potential. First Division leaders Crystal Palace were cut down to size when they felt the full force of Millwall's power on New Year's Day.
And now maybe Millwall can launch something. Alex Ray looking for one for Goodman, to chasing Goodman is through! John Goodman, one-on-one, brilliant save! Martin turning around the corner. I can tell you this is onside, Ray is onside. He's got the ball through to Verveer, can he turn? Brilliant. Just needs that cross and he's managed it. It's going to be in there. It is. It's Goodman. And Millwall are ahead. 50 minutes gone. It was a brilliant piece of skill from Etienne Verveer. Millwall had broken the deadlock. And the ball came down the right. Ray did superbly. Found Verveer. Kept his head. He knew there was a chance. Steadied. Got it onto the left, then got it back onto the right again. And look at the precision of this cross. Martin has no chance. And Goodman gets up and heads, and Martin has no chance. It's Millwall 1, Crystal Palace 0. And the Lions are ahead, and now the atmosphere in the stadium is electric. Another Millwall corner, and Palace are up against it now. Up goes Stevens. Verveer hits the crossbar. Is it in? It is. It is. And I think Verveer will claim that one for himself. Brilliant piece of skill from the Millwall number 8. And Millwall are 2 up. The corner came in. It was the corner that did all the damage. Put Palace immediately under pressure. The header came forward. In the end, it was the number 8 who did it. And that overhead from Verveer, it went in. And trying to clear it off the line was Bowery, but it was already over. That was Etienne Verveer. And it's Millwall 2, Crystal Palace 0. The league leaders being beaten. Alex Ray, Goodman, scorer of the first goal. Can Mitchell turn? He was pushed out. It's a penalty. It's a penalty, and Millwall got the chance to go 3 ahead. Mitchell's turn, just completely flat-footed Young. You'll see this ball come in again. There it was. He completely turned his man. He was floored. He was floored, and there's no doubt that it was a penalty. Absolutely no doubt at all. Alex Ray, of course, will take the penalty kick and the chance to make it 3-0, which he does. Alex Ray has done. It's a
fantastic time for Millwall, and not a very good time for the league leaders. He took it very quickly, and it's Riotsville here at the Den. Marvellous stuff.
Played very well today, second half, good performance. We've played well over Christmas and probably not got our just rewards. We played well against Portsmouth here, although they're a strong side. I thought we played well up at Sunderland, and we gave goals away, which we haven't been doing. And if you give goals away, you'll get beat. So today, very pleased.
I mean, a lot of critics have been saying that you've got a lucky result with the 2 late goals against Stoke, and really that you're in a false position. I don't think anyone can have any doubts after today, can they?
Well, a lot of my critics are a bunch of eggs anyway, and if you're all listening, a happy new year to all those eggs who criticise me. It don't bother me too much. They'll always criticise us. I mean, Millwall is a club, I haven't got a chip on my shoulder about it, but they are a club that gets criticised. They don't get the credit they deserve. Look at this place. And I still think there's a lot of snipers and a lot of envy about the place, so let them keep criticising me, so what?
In the third round of the FA Cup, the Lions welcomed former boss George Graham to the new Den for the first time. The contest attracted a crowd of 20,000, plus a live audience on satellite TV.
And here is an opening chance for Dave Mitchell, which really could have caught the cup holders cold, as John Goodman darted into the penalty area, got the ball back, and Seaman for once wasn't his normal authoritative self. Andy?
Well, just for a minute I'm thinking John Goodman's going to go over and the referee's got an awful decision to make. But when he puts the ball in, Verveer's the one that makes Seaman make the mistake, and so close to the perfect start.
Headed by Keown, it was a good one. Verveer. Seaman, in the end, from Keith Stevens, able to watch the shot go into the side netting. An electrifying start here from Millwall. Goodman pulling away from Adams. Seaman coming, holding and not wasting any time. And Arsenal move on with Dixon again. It's over Vanden Hauwe. It's Kevin Campbell. And in the end, the player who's been tucking away chances with great aplomb didn't get enough strength in the shot. And the Goldrich corner. Oh, and Keller hasn't got it. It's ended up in the back of Millwall's net. And they will feel they're out of the FA Cup. Tony Adams came steaming in, hoping for just such a catastrophe for Casey Keller. Well, this is it for Millwall. Barber. Stevens! Well, we know all about David Seaman's calmness, but really, that takes the biscuit, that sort of save in this sort of situation.
How unhappy are you about the goal itself? I gather there's some feeling that maybe Casey Keller was fouled.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, to be quite honest.
Here comes the goal. Is this where you believe the fouls were placed just there?
He's got his arm across his face. There's no question in my mind he's fouled him. He's got his arm right across his face. Pat Vanden Hauwe tells me after the game that Nurse has come up to him and said he fouled him. That's a foul. There's no question, in my opinion, which counts for absolutely zilch, I know. It's a foul.
What will you take away from this game, though? Apart from, obviously, the disappointment, were you pleased with the way your side approached this one?
I will take away the pleasure of watching my team give a supposedly top Premier League side, for most of the game, a lesson in how to play football. And I'll stand up to the criticism anyone wants to give me of that. I think we played exceptionally well. I'm delighted for my lads, and so disappointed for them. I really cannot tell you.
Millwall could now concentrate on their bid for a place in the Premier League. And Mick McCarthy's men earned a share of top spot when they conquered FA Cup giant killers Bolton Wanderers.
Good turn of control from McGinley, gets it back from Fleck. Bad. Oh, desperate. McGinley as the shot came in and McAteer had got in on the end of it. Bolton should have scored. Neat control. Roberts will sort things out. Of course, Huxford coming out will mean Roberts will move to the back and May will move into midfield. Cunningham's cross. Up goes Goodman. Ray. It's in. It's Alex Ray's 10th goal of the season, and Millwall go ahead. They've pushed forward more, Millwall, in the last few minutes. Cunningham has looked in form. This might be one for Morley. But the beautiful shot, a magnificent effort at the post, but it's going to be in by Goodman, no. And how did that not end up in the back of the net? It was May's shot.
The Lions so close to a second goal, but Alex Ray's match winner had put Millwall level on points with arch-rivals Crystal Palace. Leaders Palace well beaten at Wolves. But the Lions' share of top billing was short-lived. The visit to the Hawthorns ended with the 6th goalless draw of the season. Results elsewhere meant Millwall were back in 3rd place. The Lions' share of top spot had lasted just 7 days. Palace were back on top, but with 5 points separating the top 6, the promotion race was clearly wide open. Bad weather meant the month of February saw Millwall in action just twice, starting with a trip to Essen Park. The previous day's home defeat for Charlton meant Millwall could have gone second behind leaders Crystal Palace.
Funny enough, men in the wall, and Robinson joining in as well. Peak, Hignett, Moore, all there to have a go. Hignett tries it. Great goal, Craig Hignett. Hold it! Hold it! Now Verveer through the middle here. Oh, looks like they're going to get the penalty for that one. Peak. So Alex Ray against Steve Pears, and it's a goal, the equaliser. No great mistake from the penalty spot, and the Millwall fans now have something to celebrate. It was a very sharp decision to make. This right came across at some length. And now Verveer, who did earn a penalty, looking to cause a problem. And that's a great goal there from Morley, and Millwall have turned it right around in the 5 minutes before half-time. Good strike. But here's Moore trying to get his way through the middle. Casey Keller. Now, was that handball? It's a goal, is it, from Hignett?
Plenty of determination from both teams. It's been a battling game. Millwall 3rd in the league, so they've everything to play for. They could move second if they win, and of course Middlesbrough, if they could gain a victory here, it could set them on a good run.
And there's a goal there. And it's Vickers. It's turned into a bit of space for Mustoe. He's going to hit it. Keller's behind it again. It's another one. Wilkinson.
A disappointing outcome after Jamie Morley's first league goal of the season had given Millwall the lead.
That's a nice little flick. An early opportunity perhaps for Birmingham. This looks good. This cleared off the line at the last minute. That was Paul Harding's effort. Neil Doherty in the wall with John Frainer, 2-man wall. Big chance for Millwall here. Verveer! He's done it. He's broken the deadlock. Kerr had a good game today. Verveer, hasn't he played well too? Takes the return. Verveer, can he read number 2 for him? It is! Brilliant goal, Etienne Verveer! Scott Hiley's gone off. And now here's Saville. He's put it in.
The home win over Birmingham was followed by a midweek boost when Scottish midfield star Alex Ray ended speculation about his future, finally signing a new 3-year deal. Meanwhile, 3 successive postponements left Millwall without another game in February, and they ended the month back in 6th position, level on points with Derby and Stoke, but trailing on fewer goals scored. The month of March kicked off with Millwall going back to the future. Old favourite Terry Hurlock rejoined the Lions on a free transfer from Southampton. In his previous stint at the club, the 35-year-old midfield Ironman played more than 100 games for Millwall, scoring 8 league goals. Hurlock's second spell in the Lions shirt began at Roots Hall in the rearranged game against Southend. There was nothing Hurlock could do to stop Southend taking the lead. Sussex the scorer in the 6th minute. But Millwall hit back midway through the first half. Barber's corner eventually bundled in at the far post by Dave Mitchell. 1-1 was how it ended. Hurlock's debut with the new Den came in a bad-tempered Sunday showdown with Leicester.
Keller hitting it forwards. Mitchell trying to get in. One of the left foot of Lewis could have put them into some trouble here, but Coatsworth with the header gets it away. Alex Ray right in there. That was an excellent piece of play, though, by Vanden Howe, putting the ball into the path of Ray.
The Millwall fans were claiming that was a back pass, Brian. A little bit harsh.
Roberts versus Vanden Howe. In goes Hurlock. Never one to shirk a challenge. Roberts on the ground there. This is getting a little unpleasant. Just look at this. Oh, somebody struck out at Speedy there, it seemed to me. And referee Frampton has got his hands full here.
Well, he's going to have to start making a few decisions, Brian, because that could develop into something nasty.
Helps if you've got eyes in the back of your head, and he really needs them everywhere here. And the referee calling Terry Hurlock to him.
He actually had the initial challenge, which was a bit high to say the least, and then I think one or two players decided to take the law into their own hands. Bit of a shame, really.
Here we are, Theo. That's where Terry... He sent him off! He sent Hurlock off! Well, that's a sad sight for Millwall fans. And for Terry Hurlock, 8 minutes of his first appearance back at the Den, and Hurlock is sent off. Stevens up to Roberts. Vanden Howe. Moving Ormonroy down, and Vanden Howe being called as Oldfield goes to the ground. I think there could be trouble here for Vanden Howe.
He's actually took him on, Brian. Left his right arm out and caught him just in the chin. I don't think it was really intentional, but I said there's so much in it now.
Yes.
It looks worse than it is.
Red card. He's gone. Well, this is sensational now. If you look at it again, actually, there is... it's something... We can't be mealy-mouthed about it. We are trying to knock this sort of thing out of the game, Theo.
Yes, sir.
And there's no doubt about it that there was a contact between Vanden Howe and Oldfield. Look at that. You know, and the referee absolutely perfectly placed. I've got to defend the referee there. Here's Barber. Brought down by Lewis. And Lewis now being called. Now that didn't look too bad a challenge to me, to be absolutely honest.
It's just a little bit late, but obviously now you're questioning everyone, Brian.
Well, I think also the referee, he may well have made the right decisions, but in his way he's made a rod for his own back.
Yes.
And Lewis, just have a look. And he's got a red card, Oldfield. Well, that's amazing, Theo.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Brian, all I saw there was a very much a token gesture by Oldfield. Obviously he's raised his arms and the referee has decided, as you said, you can't have one run for one and one for the other. He sent them off.
Barber, Cunningham coming towards half-time. The first half has really flown by. Here's Ray. He's got the better of Whitlow. Can he find another? Just hooked it wide.
Well, I just can't praise Millwall enough to create an opportunity with 9 players against 10 in that situation. It's terrific, with good football as well, Brian.
Good job by Ormonroy. Roberts might get the better of Dawes here. A great chance for Leicester. And has he saved it? Yes! Just stopped it from crossing the line in Keller. But it looked as though Roberts was going to put Leicester City in the lead.
Brian, that was a brilliant save. To stand up in a position like he did and get the touch and then get back with such confidence to get it. This is marvellous, I'll tell you.
Fantastic agility.
Oh, wonderful that. That is wonderful. He keeps on the line to make sure to the linesman that he's kept the ball in.
New gets it clear.
Millwall's disciplinary record now read 8 players sent off since the start of the season. A midweek injury ruled Pat van den Houwer to the showdown with promotion rivals Derby County. The Lions have won their 2 previous outings at the baseball ground, but this time the showdown ended in stalemate. Millwall's 3rd drawn match in a row meant the pressure was on in the crunch showdown with promotion rivals Charlton.
Morley looking sharp, eager for the ball. That's always a good sign. Good one that to Alex Ray. Ray gets the cross in. Ian Dawes with a chance. Oh, good save by Vaughan. Alex Ray, can he get it back across again? Kenny Cunningham making a lot of movement there, but very little other movement from the Millwall players. Stevens hitting the long cross in. Drops to Mitchell. Mitchell leaves him. Oh, what a shot from Dawes. Another great save by John Vaughan. He's certainly earned his wage packet this week, has Vaughan. Ian Dawes really cracked that one. Chance here. Oh, he must score. 1-0. Just glides past that challenge. Goes again. And that's a free kick. Brought down by Alan Pardew. Here it is again. Good interchange of passes here by Millwall. Verveer on his way, looking to get a shot in here, and just had his ankle clipped. Free kick then to Millwall. They've got a bit of an angle on here as well to get the shot in. Vaughan lining up a what? A 3-man wall there. No, 4-man wall. Hurlock the man on the ball. Oh, what a goal! Alex Ray, his 12th goal of the season. An absolutely stunning strike. And Millwall have equalised. Here it is again. The ball teed up by Hurlock. Ray hits it first time, right in the top corner. As good a goal as you've seen here this season. The referee didn't play too much added time onto the first half. He's checking his watch now. Kenny Cunningham, not a bad ball in. The header there. Morley, force wide. Got the shot, it is there! Oh, Morley scores! Right at the death, we're into stoppage time. And Charlton can't believe it. Their dreams shattered twice within a matter of 4 days. And here it is again. Beautiful header that. Morley turns. It looks like he's being forced wide. He squeezed that ball in. And I'm pretty sure that Alex Ray didn't get the final touch.
In fact, Alex Ray did get the final touch to complete a stunning fight back. That was no more than Millwall deserved. A win that put the Lions back in front of Charlton in 4th place.
The game's into 90 minutes. It looks set for a 1-1 draw. Yeah. And then a sensational finish. I thought Jamie Morley's shot had taken a deflection off the defender and then went in. I wasn't sure whether you got a touch. You tell us.
Yeah, I did. I just happened to got it off my left foot and it just in the corner. I was delighted. So I've just been arguing with Jamie there, so he's gave me the goal, so I'm happy with that.
Was he reluctant?
No, he wanted it, but I got a touch, so obviously it's my goal.
So 2 goals, you can't ask for better than that.
That's right, I'm delighted as well.
Well, Terry, it doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, it don't get no easier. I mean, as you get older, I mean, the way we play suits me at the moment. At the last quarter of an hour, I seem to be blowing. I need a few more games, really. You know, at the last quarter of an hour, my old breathing goes. But no, it suits me the way Millwall play at the moment. You know, I ain't got to keep charging about, you know, so much. So I'm happy for that.
Sometimes when players return to their old clubs, it's never quite the same for them. What's it been like for you?
Well, I mean, you know, I had some good times here, you know, when I was here. And you know, it's always going through your mind, they'll only remember as you are, you know, as you were. And, you know, but I've got a good reception when I've come back here, and, you know, I'm enjoying it at the moment. You know, the fans have always been good to me, so, you know, I've got a good thing going with them.
Well, you've got this reputation as a hard man. You got sent off very early in your first game, but there's more to your football than that, isn't there?
No, thanks, but that's my own silly fault. I mean, it was just it was a silly instinct thing I done. I mean, I didn't kick him to hurt him. I mean, he just lashed out at me, I thought, and I just said, like, you know, what you doing, sort of thing. I didn't mean to kick him to hurt him, but it just looks a lot worse than what it was. And, you know, I let myself down, everyone, really. Let me pocket down all 2 weeks' wages up my ribs.
The drive towards promotion was not the only reason for optimism. The young Lions had reached the semi-finals of the FA Youth Cup, and the bid for a place in the final began with a first leg tie against Middlesbrough at Ayresome Park. Millwall's fight back made the final score 2-2, and it meant they'd start the second leg as favourites to reach the final. In the race to join the Premier League, the Lions now had games in hand on all their promotion rivals. The home match against relegation candidates Peterborough was an opportunity to get 3 more useful points on the board, but this was no easy ride.
Stevens has gone into the centre, Cunningham's come up. And it's a lovely header from Mitchell, he's hit the post. Ray hits it in and it's thumped out. Stevens' free kick. And Mitchell tried to flick onto Morley. Can he turn it in the crossbar? A brilliant turn on the corner of the 6-yard box. And Fred Barber just watched it. Spectator time. Lovely back flick from Morley. It's there, and it's in. An absolute amazing goal. And we'll certainly have to see what happened here. There's the man Mitchell who caused the problems in defence, but it was the back flick from Morley that started everything. The cross comes in here from the left, as you can see. A lovely little back flick. Mitchell goes to get in there, but it was the outstretched leg of Chris Greenman put past his own keeper.
Despite an unbeaten run that now stretched to 6 matches, Mick McCarthy made a double raid on the transfer market on deadline day. Clive Allen, a £75,000 buy from Premier neighbours West Ham, was McCarthy's surprise signing. Allen, with a career record of 230 goals, opted to join the Lions in favour of promotion rivals Charlton. McCarthy's other capture with Wimbledon winger Greg Berry for £100,000. Both Berry and Allen were on the subs bench for the next match at Watford. Jamie Morley had recovered from flu, but Pat Vandenhouw and Hurlock were both still suspended, and Watford claimed all 3 points when Hessenthaler wrapped up a 2-0 win in the 81st minute. Defeat at Watford was the Lions' first big setback in 7 matches, and there was further frustration against Luton Town, despite promising debuts by new boys Allen and Berry.
But the referee playing the advantage as Millwall were in possession. Beautiful long kick, it could go all the way. It's there, touched in, and Millwall have taken the lead. Jamie Morley claims the goal. It came from that long kick from Casey Keller. We're just, 10 minutes into this game. It's Millwall 1, Luton Town 0. Big Mitchell Thomas standing on the near post. Bypasses him, flicked on by Telver, and it's 1-1. Chance to get the cross in here if he wants to. Tracking the ball across. Oh, good one too, and it's there! A home debut goal for Greg Berry, and Millwall lead Luton Town by 2 goals to 1. So that's 48 minutes into this game. The run across goal here, a beautiful 1-2 with Mitchell, and Greg Berry's through to shoot low past Jurgen Sommer, and Millwall have regained the initiative. They've regained the lead. Oh, and Dawes forced into an error there. And, Kenny Cunningham prevents a corner. Stevens, oh, mistake by Stevens, a chance here for Hartson, 2-2. Oh, what a tragedy for Millwall and for their captain, Keith Stevens.
Luton's double fight back had denied the Lions 2 valuable points. Millwall, with 60 points, now in 4th place, had fallen 15 points behind leaders Crystal Palace and 7 points behind Nottingham Forest in 2nd. April took Millwall to the brink of the playoffs, and the month began with Pat Van Den Houw and Terry Hurlock both back from suspension for the testing trip to Portsmouth, their side making a late promotion bid.
Here's Creaney, lays it out to Hall with a chance to cross it. Far post cross, and there's Boer on the far post. Here's Powell then, chance for Powell. Oh, it's taken a wicked deflection, it's over Keller and it's in! Strange goal for Portsmouth, but they've taken the lead. Corner then taken by Greg Berry. Up comes Cunningham to the far post and he's equalised. Great header by Kenny Cunningham. He's obviously taken a knock. Referee calling on Peter Melville, the Millwall physio. But Kenny Cunningham has equalised for Millwall. Controversial decision then, but a real chance now for Jerry Creaney to give Portsmouth the point surely. Just 4 minutes remaining. Creaney with the kick. Sends Keller the wrong way, and that's Portsmouth 2, Millwall 1. Now their last chance is it for Millwall, hooked in by Clive Allen. Good control there from Morley, sees his shot blocked. But here's Allen again. Dave Mitchell has scored in the last minute for Millwall. It's 2-2.
After 3 matches without a win, the Lions badly needed 3 points against Sunderland to regain their momentum in the chase at the top of the table.
Free kick given and quickly taken, and Dawes gives the ball away. And now Smith, who's quick. Dawes is chasing him. This might be a great chance for Sunderland. A terrific save by Keller. Again, good positioning by Cunningham, and a good cross coming in towards Mitchell. A super goal for Millwall. Cunningham, who's been making those runs all night. Applause from the manager, Mick McCarthy. A lot of credit to Kenny Cunningham. Hurlock plays it forwards. Cunningham now on this right-hand side looks up, an inch-perfect cross, and big Dave Mitchell there with a towering header. 1-0 Millwall. Plays it deep again, and Mitchell, and it's gone in! Took a deflection along the way from Mitchell's head up. But Millwall are 2 up. Here's the corner. Played deep, knocked in, it came off a defender from Mitchell. Ferguson with it. Over towards... Oh, it's gone in! Andy Melville. Well, Don Goodman obviously had gone thrusting into the goal to pick up the ball, and there was a dispute, and he's now going to get a yellow card. It's a red card. Well, there were problems in the goal mouth there while we were watching Andy Melville.
Dave Mitchell's double was a real boost for Millwall. Victory over Sunderland put the Lions back in the top 3, 4 points behind second place Nottingham Forest, and still with the game in hand. The stage was set for two crucial showdowns with the top two contenders, starting with leaders Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park.
Dawes, and here's ahead of it Cunningham. Those are a nightmare for referees, especially when they're looking from behind the plate. Here come Palace again on the rampage at the moment. Gordon swings one over here. Here's Solano! It's Armstrong! Glorious goal from Chris Armstrong. Allen back for Cunningham now. Cunningham flat across the area. Is it going to get through to anybody in a Millwall shirt? It's pinging around all over the spot here. Mitchell tries to beat away the defender. Does so. Dawes is here. Can he tee anybody up? Still Dawes. They've plenty of men in the middle. It's coming to the back post. And Clive Allen, the man who's scored over 200 goals in his career, misses from 5 yards.
Effectively, Millwall were left with just one promotion place to chase. Meanwhile, there was a midweek boost for the young Lions.
There's Johnson getting around the outside. Good ball in. Picked up here by McGargle. McGargle with a shot. Oh, and it's in! Adrian Cronin got his hands to it, but couldn't keep it out. The bad ball in. Oh, it's there! Jeff Pitcher with the header. I think it came off David McKinley, the centre-back. And Millwall have equalised. 1-1 on the night. 3-3 on aggregate. Pitcher now. Loves to run at defenders. Can he get the cross in? He can. It's a good one too. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! Sensational goal there from Kennedy. Middlesbrough still looking to get it forward. They've got men over on the right-hand side. It comes left to McGargle. And good defending once again by Paul Irving. A great ball forward. It's Neville Gordon. Gordon's through. He must score, surely. Gordon's gone round the key. Oh, brilliant goalkeeping by Whittaker. It's there. Kennedy, the scorer. That's wrapped it up once and for all. Millwall are into the final of the FA Youth Cup. And 2-goal Mark Kennedy celebrates.
The young Lions were through to the final. Meanwhile, the promotion battle continued with the Sunday showdown with second-place Nottingham Forest.
Played inside for Allen. There's support for him from Alex Ray. Cunningham's made a great break through the middle, and look at the space here now for Dave Mitchell on this side. He's hit a good cross in, and across the goal and into the goal from Jamie Murray. A terrific start for Millwall, and a wonderfully worked goal. So it's a corner now. Here it comes. Collymore turning! 1-1. And Lee gets it away. Not a good clearance. Stopped by Dawes. In by Roberts. Here's Verveer. And now it's with Ray. Cunningham. Nice little cross there by Cunningham. Mitchell! They're in the lead again! Header that time by Roberts. Roberts playing it wide now towards Dawes. Dawes just getting there. Clashed with Little. And Dawes in trouble. Well, Des Little's already had... Oh, he's going to get a red card. Des Little's off. Des Little's off. His second bookable offence. Pierce again. Cross in once more. It's Stone who scored. It's 2-2.
Forest had escaped with a point at the end of one of the games of the season, a result that meant leaders Crystal Palace were guaranteed promotion. Meanwhile, the struggle continued against Graham Taylor's promotion challengers Wolves.
The crossing looks useful. Here's Mitchell! The new den erupts, and Dave Mitchell has kept up his recent goal-scoring record. He's powered that ball in past Mike Stowell. The Wolves' defence unhinged at last, with only 6 minutes left. There have been a stream of crosses, and this time Mitchell climbs high and thumps it past Stowell into the net.
Dave Mitchell's match-winning display against Wolves guaranteed him a place in the next match against promotion rivals Tranmere. But it was Rovers' leading marksman John Aldridge who made the biggest impact at Prenton Park, even though he wasn't fully fit.
Thomas whips one in. Oh, Aldridge is there! Aldridge is there! One mistake, one goal, Tranmere ahead. 18-yard box is Nevin. Good cross from Nolan to the far post, just too high for Aldridge. Not for Morrissey, 2-0. Brandon Howe trips on the ball, very dangerous, stolen by Brannan. Now he has the option. Does he go alone or does he pass it to Aldridge? Brannan, Aldridge, goal, easy, 3-0. Again, a tester for Nixon, and Millwall have scored. And Millwall chasing the second. Greg Berry plays it on to the other substitute, Kerr, and the goal of the game from John Kerr.
John Kerr's last-minute goal concluded a battling fight back by the Lions, but the late rally was not enough to stop Tranmere moving above Millwall into third place. At Kenilworth Road, the Lions were up against a Hatters side still battling for their first division lives, and a close contest came to an exciting climax when the home side took the lead in the 66th minute. David Priest the scorer. It was a lead Luton held for just 4 minutes. Millwall hit back with a well-taken goal by John Kerr. Mick McCarthy summed up the result as a point gained, not 2 points lost. But there was no doubt Millwall slipped up at home to Bristol City. A stubborn display by the men from Ashton Gate condemned Millwall to a goalless draw. A result that meant a place in the playoffs was still to be confirmed. The final 2 matches were both away from home, but Millwall landed the win they needed in their penultimate match at Barnsley. The all-important strike came 10 minutes from time. Alex Ray's corner eventually headed home by Dave Mitchell. It was the only goal of the evening, and the 1-0 win meant Millwall were guaranteed a top 6 finish. There was further cause for celebration in the first leg of the FA Youth Cup final.
And a well-read there again by Ben Thatcher, and that's turned out a good ball for Millwall. A chance here, Kennedy's at the far post. Oh, he's slotted in! He's done it all on his own. Neville Gordon has opened the scoring here. It's Millwall 1, Arsenal 0, with just 2 minutes into the second half. Stephen Hughes with the corner kick. There's a chance here. Oh, there! Rocketed into the net. And that's a superb strike by Matthew Rawlins. Oh, great ball over the top. Gordon's in here. Oh, what a goal! No doubt about that one. Neville Gordon exploited the space, and he crashed that shot past Noel Imber. This is Hughes. Long ball over the top for Michael Black. Good cross in by Black. Oh, he's stolen again, and that's a great score by Gavin McGovern. Luckett. Kennedy getting a good touch. Good ball through. Williams. Kennedy, can he score? Yes! His 25th goal of the season, and he's put Millwall into the lead.
Millwall stars of the future had done themselves proud in a thrilling contest. The cup was destined for Arsenal, 3-0 winners in the second leg of the final, but the young Lions have made their mark. The question now is who would the seniors play in the playoffs? As it turned out, a point in the final match at Grimsby was all that was needed to ensure Millwall finished top of the playoff contenders. There was little else to remember about a dull final match of the season that ended in a lacklustre goalless draw. The final table confirmed Millwall's top 3 finish. 9 points short of the top 2, champions Crystal Palace and runners-up Nottingham Forest claimed automatic promotion. But there was clearly little to choose between the 4 playoff qualifiers. The final positions meant Millwall's playoff semi-final was against Derby County. and the Lions' higher finish meant the first leg took place at the baseball ground.
Offside for them. Johnson with a lovely header infield to Gabbiadini. That's great skill by Gabbiadini. Brilliant play, and he pulls it back to Simpson. Oh my word, how did it stay out? It could still go in, and it has. Cowan. Craig Shaw knocks the free kick in. Emblem gets it away. Pembridge challenges Hurlock and does well. And that's a good ball forward. Johnson's onside. Yes!
In 90 minutes, the Lions' promotion dream had been left in disarray. But worse was to follow on a fateful night at the Den that ended with Millwall's worst nightmare.
An effective work by Pembridge. Johnson's trying for the break through the middle. Here goes Tommy Johnson, onside in the area. Gabbiadini squaring him. Here comes Gabbiadini, and Derby County have got that early goal that they so badly wanted. Security very tight, obviously, in the new Den this evening. It's not often you see the police horses in the ground while the match is going on. That's the situation, and already the Derby fans are chanting Wembley, and the save is made. Is it? Williams keeps it off the line. No joy for either Morley or for Allen there. They were both looking. It was Clive Allen who got the shot in. So remember, that away goal for Derby tonight will count double in the event of the scores finishing level on aggregate. So if Millwall won 3-1, for example, Derby would go through. Here they go through again. Tommy Johnson, he's got the race, he's got the beating of the defenders. Tommy Johnson surely wraps it all up for Derby County. Knocked forward into that penalty area. Here's a chance for Morley, and Taylor makes the stop, and unfortunately there's a spectator running across the pitch behind the goalkeeper, and the players are leaving the pitch. Referee Hill has taken the players off the pitch because there are fans on it, and this is exactly what we didn't want to see. It's all been too much for the Millwall fans to take, and without a second's hesitation the referee ushered the players off the pitch. There had been a lot of trouble over in that corner of the field. The police horses had been called, and the fans were spilling over just off the side of the pitch, and then you saw one spectator sprint behind goalkeeper Taylor. And so with half an hour of this game played and Millwall 4 behind on aggregate, the players have been taken off. Here goes Gabbiadini to Johnson. He's got the ability to take them all on. Oh no, what an awful moment for Pat Vanden Howell. It's 3-0. Derby can start booking the coaches to Wembley. Alex Ray. Down the line goes Mitchell. It's Williams in hot pursuit. Good ball back from him. Huxford. Morley trying to find some space. Then Ray knocks one across here. This is a good ball, and here's the chance. And Millwall have got one back from Greg Berry. The first hint of any joy at all for Millwall's fans. It was a lovely flowing move, actually. And it's the perfect cross from Alex Ray. And coming in behind Gary Charles, Berry soars high to head that one over the top of Taylor. And it's the first time Millwall have scored in 4 games against Derby this season. Fears for Mick McCarthy's sake that it's all a little too late. And Derby County are at Wembley. The Lions have been beaten in their own den for the first time since August. I'm afraid, however, the victory will be less remembered than some of the unsavoury scenes on the pitch. Derby County could scarcely have had an easier passage. They soon built up a lead. It was 3-0 at half-time, and although Berry got a consolation goal, the final overall aggregate Score is Millwall 1, Derby County